Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the championship off-season, the 2005 off-season, moving into episode number 11 of our History Mode Career Mode series with the Ottawa Senators on Hockey Legacy Manager 25. Welcome, everybody, this evening for what shouldn't be too busy of a stream coming off of the Stanley Cup. We know that there's at least one major decision we have to make when it comes to who we're keeping up our forwards within the top nine. Marian Hossa, Glenn Murray, a lot of decisions to be made there, Martin Havlat. But for the most part, we are content with our team, and we're looking forward to just strengthening that strength. What I'm trying to say is playing from a position of power. That's what I'm trying to say. Strengthening the position of strength. Playing from a position of power. Happy birthday to Max. Welcome on board. Happy birthday to him who's here in the chat. Welcome to Mighty Joe. Yes, another Sens stream on a Leafs game day, sadly. Not that I do it on purpose. I really don't, but sadly, that's just the way it goes. It shouldn't be too busy of a stream tonight, so we'll be able to stay focused on both. Let's see. Yeah, HLM, I'd say name generation is a bit better than what you see in the NHL series. And that's about it. Welcome, James, Cagney, everyone to the stream here tonight as we're moving into the 2005 off season. All right, so let's quickly get into where we can see some AGM thoughts, since we just only need to allow a couple of minutes for the AGMs to get in, since it's on the computer, a little easier to get started here. Also, yes, one more thing, Hobbs, will see in his comment in a moment, mentioning a possible Carey Price move this off season. Jenzy McKenzie, welcome to the stream. Hobbsy also saying I can't stay, unfortunately. So I've got bowling, but wanted to pop by and say hello. Thank you, Hobbsy. You'll be able to catch up on the series or on the episode a little bit later on. Okay, so now that we hit the 2 minutes, we'll go ahead and get started, beginning with our thoughts from the AGMs left in the last one. So let's go to the comments from the YouTube episode, then we'll go to the Discord server after that. Zimmy in the comments saying, can't thank you enough for this series. So awesome to see someone having a good time with this game, HLM 25. Always been underrated. You the man. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the thoughts, and appreciate you recognizing that as well. It's not just me, but it's people in general who are able to have a lot of good times with this game. And I'm glad that people are realizing that and hopefully going and having those good times themselves. Moving over to this comment left by Steven. Steven said, hi, Data. I did not watch too much in the last couple of weeks, but I've caught up with the content of the last couple of days. Congrats to the Stanley Cup and breaking the President's Trophy curse. Nice mix of the players in the lineup. When I look at these guys, simply had to win the Stanley Cup sooner or later. Yeah, we had a really good group that finally came together with a couple of rookies, Igor Kotaspakov, Mike Camilleri, and of course, our veterans who had been here for a long time already, Chris Phillips, Wade Redden, Alexei Yashin, Daniel Alfredsson. Really great to be able to finally get that done. When we were down even 3-1 in round one, am I remembering that correct? It was at least 3-2. I forget if it was 3-1. We were down on the brink of elimination in round one. We marched our way back and then won all the way to the end. And it was not pretty at some times, but we got it done. Some thoughts from Steven. Marian Hossa is interesting in comparison with himself IRL. I'm reading a book about him right now, and it reminded me how heartbreaking it was for him when he was traded to Atlanta after signing a new contract with the Senators, where he loved it and wanted to stay. Even after some time, he still refused to shake hands with Senators GM, who traded him for Dan Heatley. Danny Heatley, that is, yes. Yes, it was a 3-1 series. Thank you, James. It looks like he will have to be traded from Ottawa in this universe as well. He is always top 5 point scorer for the team, but he is the first to go to the third line when we change things, when he's still playing 4 to 6 less minutes than the other guys like Kotaspakov, Yashin, Savard, Alfredsson. He is very universally used in the lineup, but it seems like there is no ideal place for him. That's probably because Alfredsson is also a right winger, and his advantage, Alfredsson is a playmaker. Even more concerning is that Hossa was not growing at all, and he looks like his overall will never get any higher than the 87 that it is at right now. Yes, Mambo, welcome to the stream, HLM. With the guys like Getzlaf, Camilleri, Kotaspakov pushing up for better spots in the lineup, Hossa will either be a third liner or we need to trade him. What I also found interesting in this playoff run was Radek Bonk's high scoring. He was 4th in points, but he was playing only something over 13 minutes per night, second power play unit as well, and most of the time on the third line. He was also the best on the team in plus minus, so I would definitely keep him, and even if he is a third liner, he's a top player in that role. I'll leave it with that. I'm curious to see what we do before we start next season. Go Data and go Senators. Thank you for all those thoughts, Steven. Moving to Cagney now, who said, still pumped from this run. Some brief thoughts looking towards the next stream. Lalim is a Vezina and Cup winner now, which is huge, but he was probably the biggest reason things were so tight during the playoff run. It's compelling to keep running with him as a storyline, but the HLM pragmatist in me sees the riches at forward as an opportunity to pursue an elite goalie. Good point there. If we don't go that route, we could consider getting another 86, 87 overall D-man for the right side of the second pair. It would be good to build some high-end depth there. I'm thinking Salo would be the odd man out. Next point, Getzlaf should develop past Bonk's overall soon enough. The latter would still work as third-line center, Radek Bonk. Hossa on the third line is a bit questionable, so it might come down to him or Savard being moved, likely for the goaltending or right D proposed above. Next, for the draft, I think we can grab a quality D-man at 30 without trading up. I'd rather use the trade assets for more immediate help as opposed to going after a prospect. Let's also keep an eye out for Chris Neal, either as a trade or on waivers. Bring him home, yes. And most importantly, most important comment for last, we overlooked this somehow, but Slim is the 17th ranked forward in the draft. If you get him and cry harder for the Jays series, then the circle is complete, of course. That's enough out of me. Excited for the way things are developing with this team/series. Thank you for all that, Cagney. Much appreciated. And before I give a little resume of all the thoughts, I'll also go ahead and share the screen from the Discord server. And we'll get Hobbsy's comment. Yes, right here. So if we look at Hobbsy's comment in the Discord server, could zoom in a little bit. No, that's fine already. Sens thoughts. I was going to be in the trade Yashin camp, says Hobbsy, but he proved himself, so he gets to stay. We have some excess value, so we'll have to trade a piece or two out, either for prospects or to upgrade in other areas. I think the most upgradable spots are a third pair lefty or an upgrade on Lalim. With Redden being lefty-righty, we can roll the D-man as follows or something similar. Phillips Redden, Caberlet Ratchenik, Volchenkov Salo, and Eriksson as the 7th. He was more in the 6th, and Volchenkov was in the 7 this past year. And as Hobbsy says here, both Volchenkov and Eriksson are 82s, so it's not a needed upgrade necessarily, but something to look at if we wanted all 84s on the blue line. Otherwise, I think it's an upgrade on Lalim with our value. He's been good, shaky at times, but we've gotten over the hump and won the cup. So we either run it back and hope we can do it again, or we shift him into a backup role, acquire a star goalie. Then we have two options we can rely on and feel better about the situation. Forwards currently shaping up as follows. Igor, Yashin, Savard on the first line, Camilleri, Bonk, Alfie on the second, Havlat, Getzlaf, Hossa on the third. Bonk and Getzlaf are interchangeable there. Moss, Shantz, Murray on the fourth, and Calder and Corbet as extra forwards. We have one too many top 6 options, it looks like, even if Havlat and Murray are gone. So even if you take out Havlat on the third and Murray on the fourth, we still have too much going on with the top 6. As painful as it is, maybe Hossa moves out because he'd be getting buried on the third line. Who's your creative? What was his name again, Landon? Or Savard. I think it's between those two if someone else has to go. Otherwise, we just sit down with Hossa or Savard or whoever's on the third line and say, hey, we know you're not getting the ice time you want. We'll try to get you extra ice time where possible, whether that's power play or penalty kill, but we're trying to run it back, and this makes the most sense. I like that too. Now getting to my favorite trading option, Carey Price. Hobbsy says we'd have to replace whoever we trade out, but getting the star goalie prospect in the system would be massive for the long-term outlook of the Sens. I think going after Price would be the best option with our trade value, and we can find replacements in free agency and other trades. And we'll go ahead and end it off right there. All right, so let me just transition. Let me transition here and get back to HLM. And let's also pull some of these up. Yes. Francesco Ferrari. Yes, I'll go ahead and get that for a second. I want to say it one team. I'm not sure if I'm getting it right. My name is Mud, one of our channel members here. This series must have sent some good luck to the real-life Islanders. Yes, exactly. This is the Ottawa series. But yes, the one we're doing with the Sens must have sent some luck to them as they won the draft lottery in the real world. Yes. I'll go ahead and share the HLM screen. And there we are. Like that, and like this, and welcome back to HLM. All right. What's going on, Ottawa? Italian World Cup superstar, yes. Back to Ottawa. Francesco Ferrari. What team is he on again? The Italian. Let me go ahead and check that for you, Landon. Italy. Ferrari, and yes, I was right. I should have said Calgary. Francesco Ferrari, look at that hair from Modena. Last year with Valdor, 0405. Only played 11 games. Really? 21 points in 11 games, 131 and 64 the year before. But yes, he was drafted 9th overall by the Flames in the 2003 draft. Yes, no, I get it, Mud. Okay, so here we now are, ladies and gentlemen, back in Hockey Legacy Manager. Here we are. I guess there's some sort of injury, yes. I'm not sure if we look at injury history. So in the postseason that was, we know that Daniel Alfredsson led the way. He won the Conn Smythe, another year of hardware for us. Love to see that. And now we're going to be moving into the draft. So we know at the draft, if we look at prospects, Carey Price is ranked 11th. So it only says potential overall of 83. I'm not sure what that is referring to and is. I hope it's medium elite, that it's orange. Marcel, welcome to the stream. But I'm surprised that it's not blue or green for Carey Price. So Carey Price playing over in, where is that? WHL? Tri-City Americans. 40.45 goals saved above expected, 922 save percentage. So yeah, Carey Price, don't get me wrong, I would love to get some Carey Price in here, but I'm worried that he won't be as respected in this roster as he actually is in the real world. So yeah, potential overall could be misleading here. Maybe he's not fully scouted or whatever else it is. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case then, because Carey Price, of all the people who you got to get some respect to, you'd think it's Carey Price. Yes, Tuukka Rask would be tempting to take at 30. Would it be crazy if we take him at 30? That he's ranked 38th? Or would that be too cheese to take Tuukka Rask here? Potential can change, but I gotcha. First time to see this game. Do you recommend? Yes, I do, Marcel. I do. Gotcha. Gen Z has seen 83 potential overall with Elite. Gotcha. Tuukka Rask, would it be too cheese to go after Tuukka Rask, let's say, with that 30th pick? Or do we have to trade up no matter what if we wanted Rask or Price? Regardless, when we look at a potential trade, it would have to mean some major value moving out. So, Kotasbekov, Yashin, Savard, Alfredsson, Bonk. We already spoke about this with the lineup in the idea. Oh, yes. Love the lives. Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. RSB had Rene as a medium starter, so who knows what Price will be. Yeah, that's exactly what I was just thinking there. That's exactly what I was thinking. So, we know probably of all our players, the biggest guarantee to be out is Glenn Murray, I'd say. We got him to help us win a Stanley Cup, and that is exactly what he did after 4 seasons in Ottawa. He helped us to the Cup. He still has time in his contract, but it's probably time to move him before, he still has value. James also saying, I think that same round, 32 picks or so is fine. It happens all the time. Okay, same round. So within 32 picks, you're saying, James. Yes. Marcel, also love from Hungary. Yesterday, I had the luck to see Hungary, Canada in my home. No kidding. Well, Marcel, thank you very much. I know it's late over there. I appreciate you watching all the way over across the ocean. Much love to you, my friend. Thank you. So for Redden, sorry, I can't change lines here, though, right now, eh? Yeah, lineup is read-only during the off-season. Forgot about that. Love from Canada back your way, Marcel. Andre Kostitsyn's going to be coming up soon in our system. So I don't think we need any prospect forwards at the moment. We have big growth from Kotasbekov, Camilleri. Murray would be out. That doesn't change anything within the top 9. Can we run back this same top 9? Or do we say, okay, let's use some of the excess value at forward and actually get an upgrade on defense or at goaltender? Patrick Lalime, yes, we've got to give him the respect that he's a Stanley Cup champion. He's a Vezina Trophy winner. But the goals saved above expected is nothing too wild. Like 0102 was crazy. But you look, there's a lot of goalies who are way above him when it comes to that stat. If we go back to the office and look at the main player stats here of the entire league, all that, goalies, goals saved above expected, Lalime is way down here. He's good, but he's way down here. I'd love to go after Jose Theodore, of course, as a big Jose Theodore fan. Jose Theodore, but last numbers haven't been too crazy either. Here's the 88. Maybe Rene's potential fell due to performance. It's possible. When you think about it, I'm not saying we're going to be able to get Roberto Luongo or whatever, but Luongo, Lundqvist, Jaguar, these are some of the highest performing goaltenders consistently in the league. So if we go and look, we can't see age over here, huh? No, we can't see age, sadly. No, for the price, it can't be beat. So Luongo is 26. Lundqvist, 23, with the high franchise potential. Giguère is 28 with the elite potential. I love what he's been doing there in Anaheim. Giguère is a 92 overall, signed on, where's the contract? 6 more years of $5.4 million. I'd be very tempted to go after Jean-Sébastien Giguère. Look at all the French Canadians up here. Martin Brodeur, Patrick Roy, Dan Cloutier, Martin Biron, all these guys. José Théodore, Mathieu Garon. And now there's nobody for Canada. Marc-André Fleury. Marc-André Fleury, 20 years old, 84 overall. Sorry. Was he 84? Yes. Okay, anyways. Can't sit here all day. The Penguins do have Nikolai Habibulin and Patrick Roy. Habibulin, though, is 32. And Patrick Roy is 39. So sadly, I don't think either of those would make a ton of sense, although they both look really great to me. I would say maybe Giguère is an idea. Maybe. Marty Turco's 29, 91 overall. Not bad either. But Giguère is really speaking to me, someone who has consistently had some good goal saves above expected and some solid numbers with the Ducks, the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. Brodeur, Lundqvist, Luongo, I don't think would happen. Bobby Lou with the exact elite potential. He's been the best goalie in the league. He's coming off the Vezina Trophy. I don't think Florida would trade him. Dan Cloutier, 82 overall. Chris Osgood, 85 with a starter potential 32. No. O'Bain. Lalim is how old again? Lalim is 30 now. Great contract, but Thomas Vokoun, 28, 83 overall. And if we look at just the highest overall goalies in the league, if we go to player search, and we just look at the highest goalies in the league, goaltender and search. Fleury, probably the Coyotes traded for him, so I don't think they're going to want to trade him again. They just got him from Pittsburgh. Oh, no, no, it was a draft. Was it not? I forgot. Yeah, it was a draft pick. But still, they spent a high draft pick on him. So Lundqvist, Luongo, Giguère is tied for the third highest overall goalie. So we'd have to make it really worth Anaheim's while. It's a full trade bar. So it's not so easy to just say, hey, let's go after him. Fleury, Jay Hurley, created player. Ryan Miller in Buffalo. Nicholas Backstrom, 27. Cam Ward, 21. Again, maybe we should look at by overall, like 87 and up. Mika Kiprasov, not going to trade with Toronto. Biron, Roy, Habibulin. Jose Theodore has a lot of value for someone who doesn't have the craziest numbers. Yeah. Une phrase québécois? Comme quoi? Qu'est-ce que tu veux? Nick Backstrom's on a crazy contract. Another year at $400K. 27. Not the best numbers with Nashville, though. Big jump from 80 to 88 overall. Ooh. Yeah. So maybe we do try and think about it. Jean-Sébastien Giguère, but it would not be easy. Who else are we thinking about if we're looking at a goalie, right? Trade value-wise, where is Patrick Lalime? Patrick Lalime. Even Niemi has more trade value. Did I miss him? Where's Lalime? Yeah, I definitely missed him. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. The Utah Mammoth. Yes, the EA team logo. Ah ouais, grouille. Oh my god. Where is... There he is. Okay. So if we're talking trade value in a 1-for-1 deal, there's the limit at the bottom of the screen. If we were to trade him plus some value, we're looking at like this general area of goaltender. Kiprasov would be possible. We don't want to make that sort of trade, I don't think. Devin Dubnyk, but I don't know. A 19-year-old who's 79 overall. I don't know about that. Nikolai Habibulin is interesting. Kari Letton with the elite potential, 85 overall. Didn't have a great year in Minnesota, though, unfortunately. But he's 21, growing in overall, 83 to 85. Kari Letton, who was just drafted 6th overall by the Wild in 2002. Jimmy Howard, Evgeny Nabokov. Crazy numbers in 2003 when he won the Vezina. 52 goals saved above expected. 29-year-old Evgeny Nabokov. How much is the game? The game is free. The pro version is about $5 depending on currency and what platform you're playing on. Craig Anderson, do we bring him to Ottawa early? But he had some horrible numbers in Calgary. I know that doesn't determine who he is, but still only an 85 overall. Young goalie with high potential and high. It's always a good sign to see a young goalie with high potential and high overall. And that by that you're saying like a Devin Dubnyk, 79. I don't know. If we were to make some sort of trade, who's it for? Who's standing out to you, ladies and gentlemen? Martin Biron. Bad year in 03-04. Good bounce back in 04-05. From La Haute Saint-Charles. Trade from Nashville to Boston. Signed a 6-year extension. You like Lettinen? Kari Lettinen with Minnesota. 1 year left, 85, 21. Yeah, that's a lot of trade value, though, in Minnesota. We would be trading him to the West, which is nice. €9. Gotcha. For you. Okay, so we'll think about Minnesota. We'll think about even the Islanders have 2 good young goalies, but that's not exactly what we're looking for. So we'll look at Minnesota and we'll look at Anaheim for the goaltenders. Minnesota and Anaheim. Now, aside from that, we can also think about the right side D upgrade if we were to move out Salo, perhaps, let's say. If we go back to player search and look at the best right D who are available in the league. Position, right defenseman. Yeah, Lettinen's very interesting. If we go according to overall, on the right side D, guys who are not too old, though. Let me put an age limit. Age max. Probably say 30. So Kubina, Sopel, sorting by overall. Yes, Kubina, Sopel, Tverdovsky, Boynton, Stewart, Boyle, who just came off a crazy year, Robida, Craig Rivet, who we traded away. So yeah, if we're going to make an upgrade on an 84 overall, it has to be worth our while, 86 plus. And if that second pair has Thomas Caberlet as an offensive defenseman, we need someone who's a two-way or a defensive defenseman, not Kubina. So Sopel, Tverdovsky is interesting, but he would be another offensive defenseman. What did he do this past year? 54 points, right side, which is great. And on Anaheim, if we're making a package deal with J.S. Jaguar. Or true lefty who could play right D is also an option. Let's see. Left defense. Lefty, right D, Ed Jovanovski. It's a lot of trade value, though. So would be ideal to pair with Caberlet, yes. Christian Ehrhoff, 86 at 22, but offensive defenseman. And then that's it. No one else is lefty, right D. Quint. Yeah. So if we said, again, right D, two-way D ideally with Caberlet. Sopel would be at the top. They have Jovanovski too. Maybe they want to move one of them. Then it drops down. Brad Stewart, 56 points this past year. Third overall pick in 1998. Brad Stewart. There he is. His attributes are moving up nicely. Top 4 potential too. 2 offensive defensemen can work in this game, I think. To me, sorry. Yeah, what do you think about that, Cagney? 2 offensive defensemen together? Or does that not quite work as well? And then there's Ratchnick over here. So he's already in there. Salo as well. So if we're upgrading Salo, we have to be looking at someone who's above Salo. Not much. Sopel and Stewart. Brent Sopel, 62 points this past year. 90 shot blocking. Love that. It can. I just like the mix. Gotcha. So if I say offensive defenseman even on the right side, that opens the door to Kubina, Tverdovsky, Boyle, who just won the Norris or the whatever Paul Coffey Award. So ideally, I think we'd be looking at maybe Sopel. But if we try to package deal from the Ducks with Tverdovsky, that would be an idea too. So let's head into the draft and start thinking about trades because we have already a bunch of ideas cooking. So let's go to the draft and let's start thinking about, first and foremost, the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. If we want to do a crazy deal where we get Jaguar and Tverdovsky, what's going to have to go back your way, right? So first off, I'd be willing to move the biggest piece. Let's say, let's start with the ones we know for sure. Lalime would be 1. And on defense, Salo would be 2. Okay, we're not close at all. Oh, yes, I didn't even notice. No, Jaguar has the full no move clause. Ah, okay, so goodbye. Off to Minnesota. Makes sense. The Minnesota Wild. So if I were to go to them and say Kari Lehtinen, okay, so then want Salo too. Good. Okay, so if we said Kari Lehtinen, lower overall than Patrick Lalime, but we'd be taking a gamble on him because of how Lalime has been so hot and cold. What do they have defensively here? Oh, they have Kuba. He's lefty. Sort by overall. No, it's all the lefties they have. That's why they want a righty. They have all lefties. I wonder if I could take maybe some sort of 3-team trade comes in then, right? Where they can dump a lefty to another team. We don't want them, but another team might. So you can dump DeVries. Hold on. Now I'm cooking here. Hold on. Dump DeVries to, who did we say? Vancouver? To try for Brent Sopel? I mean, look how much talent they have on the right side. Left and right. They have a lot of talent on D. They have a ton of defense. So, and they want to trade Oland, actually. They don't want to trade Sopel, but they want to trade Oland. There's risk that it takes Carolina a year to get that 90 plus, assuming he keeps up the trajectory. Yeah, I hear that. As much as I love the Carey Price idea too from Hobbsy, for example, we're thinking about guys we can get in there ASAP. So they don't want to trade Sopel, but might make it. Let's see. So DeVries would go to Vancouver. Lalime and Salo go to Minnesota. Sopel comes to Ottawa. Now we have a lot of work to do. Now, next, if we're open to moving one of these big forwards that we've been talking about, Murray's one of them. Modified no trade clause that he would be open to waiving to Vancouver. Okay, so that helps Vancouver a little bit. Next up, we need to give Minnesota some value. Vancouver for DeVries, they can give some value to Minnesota, maybe. Even a first. A first goes to Minnesota. Now, what can we add? First to Vancouver? No. We have to add one of those big names now. One of those big names. This is probably where Havlat comes in. If we say Havlat to Vancouver, we're still getting too good of a deal. Where we're giving up Lalime, Salo, Murray, and Havlat. We're trying to get Lehtinen and Sopel, where DeVries is going to Vancouver. So let's take out the first, actually. That makes Vancouver happier. But now Minnesota saying, why am I doing this deal with you, Ottawa? What are they getting? So we have to send one more piece to Minnesota. What if I send a second to Mini? Doesn't do much, eh? No, we have to give a big piece going to Minnesota. Yeah, this would probably be Hossa or Savard. I don't think it's going to work, honestly. But if we did say, let's say Savard even if it was Savard, this still wouldn't work. We're still getting too good of a deal from Minnesota. No. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. Let's try going back to just Lehtinen instead of trying to make some big deal with the defenseman being involved. So if I want Kari Lehtinen, I give you Patrick Lalime. How close are we? Not close. I'll give you Lalime and Yeah, so we'll go back to looking at Sopel for, yeah, we'll try and get just 2 separate deals going on. So Lalim here. We have David Krejci at center. Yeah, don't forget him. Who's in our goalie system? We could throw in, like, I don't know, Pecorine, big name, but really 22, 54. I'm down to add him to a deal if we're about to bring back a good young goalie and Kari Lehtinen. You know, like, I'll give you Pecorine. I don't really mind. And then I'll add Salo. No, it doesn't do a lot, eh? I'm surprised it doesn't do that much. Lalim has a all-star pedigree. Let's see, by overall, Murray. No, doesn't want to go to Minnesota. I forgot. Even this would take. Even Hossa wouldn't get. Are you serious? Lalim, Rene, Salo, and Hossa wouldn't get it done for Kari Lehtinen? Forget it. So again, let's back out. Can I look at? No, I can't. Okay, so who else were we thinking about for the goalies? Like Martin Biron was an idea. Ryan Miller was in Buffalo. I remember seeing that. So we got to find a team that has a couple of good goalies. Craig Anderson was an idea. Yeah, the game sees what we're trying to do with Lehtinen, which is okay. Just then why is it so hard? Why is the trade value not reflecting that? Sean Burke, yeesh. Tough contract. I mean, it's only 1 more year. If we had enough money, I would do it. Marty Turco, full trade bar. Manny Fernandez, Mark Denino, Tommy Salo. Whoa! Roberto Luongo on the trade block. Wee-oo, 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 wee-oo. Wait, it's a full no move clause. But what does it mean if it's gray? We'll come back to Nabokov too, yes. They want to trade him after winning the Vezina, but why is it not green or red? Because they have Jay Hurley in the system. I guess that's why. But are we not able to get him? It's not in effect yet. Oh, I see. And we even had a defenseman. They have Dan Boyle, but I doubt. No, they don't want to move Dan Boyle, so let's not go too crazy here. They have Olli Jokinen for the forwards. No, we would just take. Yeah, Hurley also in the block. Autocomplete. Eriksson, Paradis, Krejci, and a first. And that's wait. What do you mean? Auto? It's not auto. They would do this, but the trade value is not there. Hold on. I'm just gonna offer the trade, and if it goes through, I'm gonna exit out. But why? Yeah, trade declined. Okay, so is that telling me that there's no trade that works? Let's go back over here. Okay, so if I gave you first, you don't want a goalie. That's the problem. Even if I gave you Wade Redden, it wouldn't do enough. Getzlaff and Redden, it would take for Luongo, right? Which is not going to happen. But I give you a first. This is where Hossa comes in, maybe. Even Hossa's not even close. Hossa, Havlat, a first. Savard, no. That doesn't work. Being elite, the value of your picks goes down. Your team is, yes, makes sense. But still, Hossa, Havlat, and Savard don't get it done. Even with Yashin. And let's add Alfredsson. Still, no. Okay, so we know that this is just a joke then. Okay, so Luongo's not going to happen. That's too bad. That would have been awesome, but that's not going to happen. Back to the Kings, sorting by overall. Yeah, we saw Evgeny Nabokov. We'll go and see them in a second. Lehtinen, no. Theodore, sadly, doesn't look like it either. Backstrom, a lot of trade value. Brodeur, that's not going to happen. David Abisher, wow, legend. Cam Ward, Rick DiPietro. Lundqvist, not going to happen. Marc-Andre Fleury, not going to happen, I don't think. Hurley, it's almost the same. Yeah, we'll go back and look, but I think it's almost the same value. It's almost a full bar for Hurley. For Jay Hurley, no, it doesn't get done either. So, sadly, no. Where were we? Fleury. Habibulin. So the Penguins want to trade Habibulin. But at 32, is that the move we want to make? I mean, it would maybe he's the bridge to Antiniemi. I wonder. Habibulin, 86 for 88, and Habibulin has had some good simulation years. Contract is ugly for Habibulin, you think? 3 more years at 3.6. Yeah, we're paying an extra $2 million for the extra 2 overall. It's not an undoable contract, but I agree it's not ideal. And it would still take a lot of trade value to make it happen. Well, we might be stuck with Patrick Lalime at this point. How about the Sharks? Nabokov has a fair bit of value. Can we get a Sundin check? You have to remind me on that one, Mighty Joe, once we get through the goalie conversation here. So Lalime for Nabokov might actually work here. Nabokov's about $1 million more expensive. He's a year younger. They're the same overall, but he seems to sim better. So Lalime for Nabokov might be our best chance. Just taking a quick look at the other teams out there. Brent Johnson, Chris Osgood, Mika Kiprusoff, we're not going to trade with Toronto. Roman Czechmanik, Oli Kolzig, J.S. Jaguar back. So it might be Nabokov. And who else do they have on defense, maybe? Brad Stewart, we had said for the right side, yes. If we wanted Nabokov and Stewart, and we said Lalime is yours, we'll give you Lalime. We'll give you Salo. We'll give you Murray. Where is he? And Havlat. Gets close. I'd stick with Lalime if it's lateral like that, personally. Yeah, Nabokov, I don't know why they won't let me click on him. Can I please see if any Nabokov? Yes. So Nabokov won the Vezina in 2003 with crazy goal saves above expected. Last couple of years have been so-so. And to move Havlat and Murray and all that, I don't know. He was an 88. He dropped down to an 86. In the playoffs, not great. Last couple of years, not great. 04 and 05. So I think if that's the case, we probably just keep Lalime. I think that's probably going to be the case. That doesn't mean we don't go after Brad Stewart, though. Lalime has been a lot better the last couple of years than Nabokov, yeah. If we take out Lalime here, if I say Salo for Stewart, and to make it happen, I'll give you Glenn Murray, no problem. Even Martin Havlat, that doesn't really do too much. At this point, he's 83. Good catch at his overall drop. That could trend back up next season, true, but no certainty. No problem, Max. So is this the deal that we dump Havlat in to get the upgrade to Brad Stewart? One of the highest rated right Ds in the league. It won't let me click on his stats for some reason. So Salo, Murray, Havlat, and what else to make that happen? What else do you want? And our first. Are we willing to trade pick 30 with Havlat, Murray, and Salo to get an upgrade on the second pair? No, Brent Burns isn't here at this time. He'll need an extension as well. I hope when he turns 26, he doesn't drop an overall. Yeah, that's what we wouldn't want that to happen. I don't know. Is this worth the upgrade? Who do we have in the system on the right side? Vitalinish, that's true. Because Vitalinish is going to... What if we just trade Salo and Ratchnik stays second pair and third pair is Vitalinish, who's going to be growing up in the system now? Yeah, you know what? I'm not sold on that high of a price. Because if we just take Murray and Havlat and we go to find a trade. Find trade for, let's say, Havlat. Too much value to give up for +2 and overall. I agree. We get Zherdev and a third, let's say, from Columbus. That'd be a nice deal. Dallas Johnston. Waller and a third. Who's Waller? Data, do you see my text space? No, I did not. I did not see that. Ted Waller, top 9 potential? No. Block, find, Havlat. Who else was offered to us? Palfy, like Komisarek and Molson. Matt Molson and Mike Komisarek for a second, though, involved in that deal. Zednik, 81. Colby Armstrong. Nikolai Zherdev's pretty tempting. Yeah, good point. Low top 6 potential for Nikolai Zherdev, the 4th overall pick in 2003, who scored just 15 points last year in Columbus. Always the AI will always offer a prospect and a pick, huh? Nikolai Zherdev, he's only 20. We can get him and a third for Havlat. We dump Havlat as a guy who never grew. He's a long shot. It's too bad. I love Nikolai Zherdev. Yeah, that Dallas Johnson offer was interesting. I think it was Philadelphia. Dallas Johnston, was it? Yes. He's also low top 6. He's 77 at 21. 121 points last year in the queue. Dallas Johnson, 50th overall pick in 2021. Won some nice awards at Jean Beliveau Trophy, Mike Bossy Trophy. Dallas Johnston. Oh, there you go. Havlat. And Roger, can you just see his fine trade if I put 2 pieces into a deal? Oh, yeah. Did Johnson and Zherdev drop in potential? I'm not sure if they did, actually. You might be right. So who can we get here? With this package that we have, I don't know. If Vitalinish is going to be coming in on the right side, and Lalima Singh in goal over there, do we just trade for a pick? Do we try for Carey Price? I don't know what. How hard would it be to get the 10th overall pick? I forget from last time. See, Philadelphia was just wanting to trade with us. No trade found. Phoenix, no trade found. Let's stay away from them. Maybe a green top 6 if we're looking at prospects. Block, find trade. Back to Havlat again. I say we fish for Price. Fisher Price? Right, but he'll be 3rd pair next year. He had a crazy year in the KHL. I don't know who has what potential. That's the problem. What about that deal with Mike Komisarek involved? There's even Colby Armstrong from Washington. So let's look at Washington and even this guy Zednik. Washington, Vancouver, Anaheim. Top 6, top 9. Washington, Armstrong, medium top 9. We'd have to do that for every trade offer. If there's a third in the offer, it probably means the prospects are not great. True. It was taking a lot longer than I thought it was going to. Block. Havlat. Okay. So let's not look for ones that have. Let's see more. It's like just a straight up prospect if possible. Check top prospects list and see who's interesting. Could also do that. Yeah. No. What if there's a prospect without a third? Is there any, ever that? Second and third straight up. Second and third with a third with a fourth. Maybe Walton from Dallas. Let's look at that. But no guarantee. From Dallas, high top 6D, Herb Walton. Second round pick in 2002. Point per game in the AHL. No, Chichu's an NHL player. We have no room for NHL players, sadly. Herb Walton's an idea, but we're going to move Martin Havlat just for that. Can we see the top prospects? No, we can't, eh? That's our depth. Team standing watch list. No. So we can't see top prospects from here. So if we trade Havlats for a second and a third, but at this point, ladies and gentlemen, that's what his value seems to be, a second and a third. Do we just dump Martin Havlat and move on and call him a failed experiment and just carry on with our lives? Yeah, I agree, Gen Z. Second and a third and call it. So we can do it from Nashville, San Jose, Nashville, San Jose, St. Louis. But that's from Washington. Nashville, San Jose. And that's it. Nashville, they're pretenders. San Jose, also pretender, slightly worse record. Do we want him for a trade up to grab Price? Well, what does the value look at for what does value look like for a second and third? Are we gaining value by getting a second and third? We're giving up a bit more value. I want to get a bit more back if possible then. We can get more than a second and a third. Oh no, because a better deal for us. Okay, so we are getting a slightly better deal. Then we can use some of these picks to move up, maybe. A second, a third, and a seventh in this draft. Because Havlat for a first, it would be a big, long deal to try and get a first here. I'm going to say let's just cut our losses and call it on Martin Havlat. I'm just sick of him at this point. So Martin Havlat, I'm going to send you off to the Western Conference to the San Jose Sharks. Thank you very much for your service here in Ottawa. Never grew from that high top 6 potential, 83 for like 5 years. Good luck in San Jose, and thank you for your time. Stanley Cup champion, congratulations on your time here in Ottawa. Thank you, San Jose, as we pick him up and get some more draft picks in this 05 draft. We have 30, 44, 54, and 60. So 1 first and now 3 seconds, which is exciting. Farewell. Enjoy your day with the cup. Yes, thank you, Martin Havlat. Now, with those picks, are we trying to think about trading up for Carey Price? Let's see. He was rank what again? Who knows who might reach on Carey Price? He's rank 11, so we'd definitely be trading into the top 10, which is not going to be easy. If we trade with a team like Washington, let's say, no trade found, so I have to go here, trade with Washington. They don't want to trade their pick. Let's just say in theory, Washington for their first, I give you my first and 2 of my seconds. A first and 2 seconds doesn't get it done to move as it shouldn't. A first, 2 seconds, and Sami Salo, no, and Ratchenik, no. Okay, so that's just for fun. So trading in the top 10, I don't think is going to be able to happen. I think we don't even have a pick at 30. Oh, yes, we do. It's stuck in scrolling up. We have our pick at 30. Then we'll have 44, 54, 60. We can't really trade in the draft, which is the problem. Could we try and trade up for 1 higher pick? Could we have 30 and 31 maybe? That would be nice. Yeah, okay, that's not going to happen. So could we have 30 and 31 would be nice. We pick at 30. I'll take Vancouver's 29. That's on the block. Vancouver, I'll take 29. I'll give you, they don't want picks though. Can I give you 74 and 60? No way. And 50, wait, 2 seconds and a third for a late first. 3 seconds and a third doesn't get it done. Oh my God, then forget it. 30 and 31, Columbus. Because that's a second technically, right? Maybe technically since it's a second, the game will change it. So what if I give you 60 and 54? You're kidding me. For 30 and 74. Yeah. And 90. Yeah, and here's a first next year. Does that work? Oh my, so with 3 seconds and 2/3 gets it to move up. Okay, so forget it. Never mind. Because you don't want, yeah, I get it, but still. Buffalo at 33. They want Niemi. Yeah. Forget it. Forget it. All this to say, we've done all these ideas. We moved out Martin Havlat. We also said we want to trade Murray at this point too. So Murray, let's find a trade for you, buddy. Let's give you a home. We'll find Murray and Salo a home. Murray to LA for a third. Yeah. Murray to LA with Salo, if you're open to it. And with they have even a condition on that pick. They want Salo. Okay. Murray and Salo to the Kings for. Can we get an 06 second? I'm surprised you couldn't get a first. Ridiculous. They want to trade those, though. They won't even do Murray and Salo for an 06 second. But this works. What? Okay, where's a team that wants both and has a green thing? Okay, Nashville. You want to trade your picks? Good. Okay. So it says we're getting a slightly better deal here. I'll try and see if this works. Murray and Salo for an 06 second. Trading for future picks. All right, that's what we'll try. What do you say? Trade accepted. Okay. Thank you, Nashville. Oh my goodness. And now that gives us in the 06 draft a first 2 seconds. I have Nashville's pick. All right. So Murray, thank you for your service. Sammy Salo, thank you for your service. Now that we got them the cup, I feel a bit less hesitant to trade them away. Let's just start this draft for finally. Let me get some water before we get started. Okay. So where is Sidney Crosby going to go is what we're thinking about first. Toronto selecting first. Please take Bobby Ryan and not Sidney Crosby. Please, please, please. Cleaning house. Yeah, when we win the Stanley Cup, we trade out 3 roster players, but hopefully that's going to be all we have to do, just making room for the rookies. First overall in the 05 draft will be Jack Johnson. Thank goodness. Still good. High elite potential. Thank goodness it's not Sidney Crosby or even Bobby Ryan. Columbus takes Bobby Ryan too. So Sidney Crosby, does he drop to 3 and go to the Buffalo Sabres? Sidney Crosby is a Buffalo Sabre. 78 overall with the exact franchise potential. Oh my goodness. Real Deal Prime, get excited. Sidney Crosby is a Buffalo Sabre. Does Benoit Pouliot go to the Wild like in real life? No, Matt Zuccarello. Then Carey Price goes 5. Okay, good thing we didn't trade for like 8 or something. Carey Price goes at 5, 75 overall with the medium elite potential. Then Benoit Pouliot, then Jack Skilly. Ouch. I really hope there's someone crazy who drops. Or now Gilbert Brule drops a little bit. All right, let's sim to user and cross our fingers. Okay. I like who could be out here. All right, so at 30, we see Paul Stastny, who has dropped from 23. Cam Talbot could be an idea of a goalie. Maybe he has absolute starter potential. Matt Niskanen, and even this guy here, Langhorn, 90 overall defensive defenseman. Pool Langhorn could be an idea. Jack Johnson and Bobby Ryan with the green elite. Real Divinity. Hey, Data, on my history mode, both Ovi and Crosby got drafted by the Blue Jackets. What a universe that was. Do we go Tuukka Rask here, though, and throw him as another goalie in our system? As tempting as it is to see some of the other players, is Tuukka Rask the guy? to get him with Antoniemi and everybody else. There's also guys like James Neal. James Neal looks really good. Potential overall of 90. But we might want to go positionally here, and that would be Tuukka Rask. As tempting as like Stastny is. Whoa, what's happening? Whoa. And now we need to exit out. Why did I thought we had that was not 3 minutes. That was definitely not 3 minutes, as it takes Arsenault. So we'll have to back out here. Antoine Arsenault. No, we'll have to back out there. Great. Oh, man. Exit without saving. No, Matt Niskanen wouldn't make sense for us, I don't think. Hi. Trade. Maybe we can trade Havlat and Murray together now in this universe. Havlat, where do we trade them? San Jose? No, we don't want them. Okay, how about we both send them both to Nashville now? Okay. Havlat, Salo, and Murray can all go together in this universe. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Can we get a first in 2006? We have to give a bit. So 2006, I'll give you my third. No. No, it wouldn't be worth it. Forget it. The first is too hard to get. I'll take a second in 2006. Crosby. If Crosby goes to Toronto, I'm restarting it. I don't care where he goes, but not Toronto. And that the prime universe already happened. Second and a third, well, then they give it too much. So a second, and who can I get? A second and no, I'm not giving you a second as well. Bobby Brassard? No. I mean, we could take a second in this draft as well. A second this year, a second next year. And who's on your block here? O'Sullivan, 2066, low top 6. Patrick O'Sullivan. Sure, throw him in the system. I don't think a third is May. Then the value doesn't ever go. It's so crazy. Oh, no. Oh, sorry. It's us getting the better deal now. Okay. What do you say to this? Nashville. Thank you very much. O'Sullivan and 2 seconds coming our way as we ended up dumping those players to Nashville instead. Patty O, welcome Patrick O'Sullivan to the Ottawa Senators. And that dumps them. Now, what else did we have to do? That was it, right? Havlat, Salo. No, you can't save before the draft begins. That was it, right? Salo, Murray, and Havlat all out. I think that was it, right? All right. I'm thinking. Yeah, that was everybody. All right, let's start the draft. First pick. Toronto now gets, in this universe, they get Bobby Ryan. Fine, but they're not going to get Sidney Crosby. Crosby now goes to Columbus in this universe. Sorry, Real Deal Prime. And Buffalo gets, Carey Price, though. Good consolation. Okay, so in this universe, now this is the new prime universe. Bobby Ryan going first overall in the 05 draft. Crosby goes number 2 to Columbus. Buffalo gets Carey Price at 3 as their goalie of the future. Benoit Pouliot now goes at 4 to Minnesota. Jack Johnson drops from first overall to 5th overall. Sheesh. St. Louis gets Zuccarello. All right, sim to user pick. Now who's out there? Stastny's still available. Niskanen went now. So it says we have 3 minutes. Let's see what happens. If it jams, if it does some sort of glitch again, I don't know what to say. So TJ Oshie is also a possibility now, 87 overall. But I think we said Tuukka Rask is the guy, correct? As tempting as Paul Stastny is as a center playmaker, we have David Krejci, who we just got last year. Oshie as a two-way forward isn't ideal. Only 12 points last year. What? I know his potential overall is high. I think we got to go for position, and that's Tuukka Rask. All right. Tuukka Rask, welcome to the Ottawa Senators. Hopefully our goalie of the far, far future. 65 overall out of the draft with the high elite potential. You love to see that as we get him at 30th overall. Langhorne Classic AIG. Yeah, we'll see what happens with he was 56. Okay, so we don't need high top 4 deep potential. All right. Sim to our next pick now. Oh, we got James Neal just went, but at 46, we got to go Stastny, who's still out there. Oh, but even Oshie on the right wing. I wonder if we do have the centers we have in our system. I wonder. Oh, it's because the time is clicking a bit faster. Is that what it is? This time is ticking faster? Why is it ticking faster? So at 46 here, we got to go quick. At 46, Stastny's still out here, but so is TJ Oshie. Even Chris Letang. Is Letang that too cheese? Time's ticking here. Draft. Can I pause the draft speed? No, I can't, eh? Oshie or Stastny? Stastny, final few seconds. Letang's even out there. Highest available. I don't think we have like any right wingers. I'm gonna go Stastny because I think that's too hard to pass up at 23. Oshie would be nice, but we have Louis Eriksson who just came to mind too. So I'm gonna say let's go Stastny. Why is the time ticking so nice and slow for Columbus now? I would have wanted James Neal, but we get Stastny, 65 overall, center playmaker, high top 6 potential. I'll have to change it for the next draft. We pick again at 54. So if Letang's there, we'll go. But I didn't want to take him over such a big drop as Stastny. So let's see. I'm not sure. Now the draft speed is back to slow. I don't know what to tell you. We pick at 54, then again at 60. Keep that in mind. 54, then again at 60. Marc-Edouard Vlasic as a defensive defenseman. Remember, we don't want to go too cheese, but these are still second-round picks. These are still high selections. Pavel Kubina, maybe 89 overall, really. Barker, Abdelkader, Marc-Edouard Vlasic. Oh, sorry, Letang is here. Oh, I totally missed that. So Letang is there. Then I think we got to go Letang. Yeah, my bad. Yeah, now the time's going slowly. Cheese means like you're playing the system, kind of. Even Jonathan Quick, yeah. All right, we'll go for the defense now and go Chris Letang. Welcome aboard, Chris Letang. And that will be medium top 4. Welcome to the organization. Where our next pick, Kuba just went there. Low top 4, Abdelkader. Now our next selection at 60. Then we have again at 90. At 60, we could go Vlasic for the defensive defenseman on the left side now. He's even lefty, righty. Ooh, that's really helpful. I think Vlasic might be the guy lefty, righty. I know there's Jonathan Quick, but I don't know if I want to take 2 high-end goalies in the same round. Yeah, I think Marc-Edouard Vlasic is going to be the guy. Vlasic, 60 overall with a high top 4 deep potential. Next pick at 90. Who's out here at 90? Butler, Jarmelson, Sabatka. Yeah. It's pretty ugly pretty quick. Anton Strawman could be a late pick for us. Nathan Gerby, Darius Kasparaitis. Even Yaroslav Halak. But probably Jarmelson. Who's this guy, Larson? Alex Larson, 107 points in the queue. 20 years old. Jarmelson. All right. Who dropped in the draft as well. So we're heavy on the D here. 58 overall, high top 4. Next pick at 120. Pick 120. Keith Yandel, but I don't know. We just took like 3 defensemen in a row. So let's look at the forwards out here. This guy ranked 106 is out here. Wandell. Nathan Gerby at 149. Could be a little reach on him. If Gerby wins the cup, would he have to look up to see what's saying next to it? Let's... It's not going fast again now, is it? No, now it's back to slow, so I don't know what to say. So we went goalie, center, and then 3 defensemen. So a winger wouldn't be a bad idea here. Ryan Reeves. I'll pass. Yandel, I know, but I don't want to. I know it's a tough balance of cheese when you already know what the player is going to be. But now in round 4, to get a player like that after we just took 3 defensemen in a row, I know he's the best pick. He should be the best pick, but part of me says let's just go winger. Nathan Gerbe has the 85, maybe potential overall. Nice story. I know it's not just the defenseman; it's also getting a defenseman of his caliber. But there is an Italian here, Gian Bevilacqua, an Italian player for us to be excited about. Or just Gerbe on the wing. Bevilacqua. Any other Italians out here? This guy's from China. Brandon Yip is from China? What? Okay, let's just take Gerbe and move on. Nathan Gerbe, welcome aboard. Medium top 9, as I thought. Bevilacqua, where were you, man? Someone take him. Keith Yannel was 54, medium top 4. Bevilacqua is low top 9. New series goal, get Italy World Cup. I know, we have to. 145. I wonder if he changed his nationality. Darren Hell might be the guy here. Yeah, let's go for Darren Helm, rank 128. He has a medium top 9 potential at 145. Then again at 150 now. We pick right after again. I don't want Ryan Reeves, though. Maybe now we take our second goalie. With Yaroslav Halak. I wonder what his overall might be. He's 20 at this point. Yeah, let's just throw some darts here. Yaroslav Halak. He is medium starter, 61 overall. 180. Maybe Anton Strawman if he's still out here now. He should be. Anton Strawman, let's take him as one of these later picks as he went late in the real world too. High top 6D, cool. And our last pick at 210, the final pick of the 05 draft. The final pick of the 05 draft. Do we just take someone like best player available, or do we go by potential overall? We could see like an 86 here. We saw some guys have some crazy growth. Kasparaitis is still here too. This is Dimitri Kasparaitis. Klauser, Jonathan Klauser, 86 potential overall. Daniel Winnick, where is he? Or is he by sorting over here? Oh, there he is. Daniel Winnick. He's 20. Tobias Enstrom? Where is Enstrom? Or was it over here? I don't see him. Matt D'Agostini, legend. We saw some crazy growth from the other guy with Jonasson, right? I'm just going to go for Jonasson, for Klauser because of Jonasson and hope that something happens. Even though he's so low in the potential, maybe something crazy will jump. Okay, so big draft for us, ladies and gentlemen. Rask, Stastny, Letang, Vlasic, Jarmelson, Gerbe, Helm, Halak, Strawman, and Klauser. With some trades happening as well there. You went to high school with Matt D'Agostino? What? D'Agostini? D'Agostino? D'Agostini, right? That's a crazy story. Contract extensions now. Let's see. Oops. Go to contracts. So there's not much to do. We have over 12 million in cap space. So Shantz, I enjoyed having him here. I'd like to keep him on for one more year at least. Let's see what happens. 1 year, 1.34. I'd be happy with that. Moss was great too. I'd be okay with keeping Moss on board. We could do 2 years. Corbet as a depth forward. 1 year. That's fine by me. Kostopoulos, of course, 80 overall. I wonder if he could push for the NHL. Kostopoulos, Kelly, franchise legend. Jones, league minimum. Chiernik, cheerleader. Freddie Mayer. Oh, we need some players in the AHL anyways. Klasnik, we're going to let him walk, I think. Jokinen, of course, we'll give him his contract. Stempniak. And Rene. Okay, so let's advance the day now. Everybody's on board. Lovely. That leaves us now with close to 9 million in cap space. We're going to let Kolesnik walk. Do we sign Louis Eriksson at this point? That'll be a question. Patolny, Wisniewski. We might want to sign some of these guys depending on how their development is going to look, depending on what league they're going to have to be in. And now when we look at our lineup as well, Kotaskov, Yashin, Savard, Alfredsson, Bonk, Camilleri, Moss, Getzlaf, Hossa, now that Havlat and Murray are gone. So who are we going to have here in that third line spot, you know? Or do you trade Hossa or Savard or something and trying to get better third liners in supporting roles? You can choose the league they go to. Yes, we will. I'm just not sure who we should put where. I almost would have wanted to keep Havlat just as a third line left wing, but can't do that forever. I wonder who's going to grow over the offseason, right? So I think we probably stop the moves there and let me. Who could be there in free? Yeah, it could be someone in free agency. I wonder. Yeah, I might lean keep Hossa too. I don't know. Let's see who's in free agency, right? Let's advance to free agency and see. Yeah, let Kolesnik walk. And let's start free agency. Maybe a power forward left wing for the third line. I'm down for that. So July 1st, free agency. Who is out there? Not a lot. Starting at, if we look left wings. Isbister. And won't let me click on him. Can't start sending it off now. Isbister, 84 overall. Very high interest from Jelena. Yeah, they're the highest overall players anyways. Craig Bouvet in free agency, yeah. Guys who played for us. Childhood team. Family member. Stastny. How about that? Paul Stastny now, right? Brad Isbister. I haven't thought about him in a long time. Jelena's a sniper at 35. Isbister's probably the guy at 28. What are his stats, though? Oh, now it works. Brad Isbister, 37 points last year with 15 minutes of ice time. Yeah, he's not anything crazy, but at least he's an 84 overall to play on that third line. Third round pick in 1995. Kirk Maltby, now 81 for a two-way forward. That's barely fourth line. Wouldn't work for the third line. All right, Isbister's going to be the guy that we probably send an offer to as we dump Marty Havlat and get some value and just say, spread your wings and fly, man. Yeah, probably Isbister's the only guy we're really looking at. Anyone with some cool potential out here? All Brett Hall, 40-year-old, 79 overall Brett Hall. Wow, that would be something because he's left Dallas now. 22 points last season, playing on like the fourth line. Shoosh. Right wing or center who can play left wing. Good catch or good thought. Sorting by overall. Nope. And center. Nope. So sorting by potential, franchise. Ray Emery in free agency. Yeah, really not a lot out here at all for interesting prospects either. Sorting by age, looking at potential here. No. High fourth line is like the best you're seeing. Then they all get to 27 years old. Ugly year for free agency. All right, so let's go and try to get Isbister. That's about it. So let's start free agency and try to get him on board. Isbister. I don't want to give you 4 years. I got a ton of cap space. I'm going to give you a nice, juicy 1-year deal. After that, who knows what's going to happen with prospects. 1 year, $3 million. That's my offer for you. I'm not giving you 4 years or whatever. I have no idea what you're going to be like. So let's send that. Goaltenders, Czechmanic, Dunham, Brathwaite. I mean, these guys would be okay backups, but Aubin was solid. All right, Isbister, you got 10 offers. Go ahead and deliberate. For 20 seconds here, and that's the only offer that we're sending out. While we're waiting 20 seconds, make sure to check out the channel memberships down below. Click join and look at the perks you would get on the Discord server and here on YouTube. If you were to join as a channel member, supporting the channel while also giving you some great perks to go along with live streams and all that here on the channel. And Isbister accepts the 1-year, $3 million deal. Speaking of channel members, thank you to Cagney who's in the chat right now. Mighty Joe Maple. I'm not sure if anybody else is in the chat without commenting, but thank you to our couple of channel members who are there so far. Might lose him with the 1 year. No, we got him, thankfully. But I know that was a possibility. I didn't want to give him 4 years, though. That's the thing. And that's it. Oh, got to plug in the battery here. There you go. Okay. Sim till the next rounds. Next round. Next round. Next round. Who's still out here? All players sorting by overall. Willie is here. Hedberg. He's going to be on waivers tomorrow, right? Next round. Next round. Goodbye. Isbister, welcome aboard. Power forward to help us out since Havlat will be not be there anymore. Contracts. Yes. Let's go look at contracts here. Extensions that might be eligible now. So Koltaspakov, yes. It wouldn't be a bad idea to sign him up and lock him up for 8 years right now. 8 years on Koltaspakov. And I'd be willing to give him a clause as well. I'll give him the full no-move clause. We are committed to him. I'll give him the full no-move clause. But you know what? It doesn't do much for his interest, so why put it if you don't have to? We have to put extra 50K or whatever. So Igor Koltaspakov, 8 years, 4.3, no problem. Let's just send that right here, right now. Marian Hossa, I'm not giving him anything yet. Mike Camilleri wants 5 years. Do we go 8 on him? I'm okay with 8 on him. Only applies in line. Oh, that's why. Camilleri, 8 years at 3.295. Ratchnik's a question mark. Getzlaf, let's sign our young guys here. Can we go 8 years on Getzlaf as well, who's 20? 8 years for everybody? It'll be a tough offseason in 8 years, but... Or how much does he really want? Oh, he wants a lot. Now let's get to the 4 millions like Koltaspakov. You know, that's probably a bit crazy then. All right. So Getzlaf, you want 1 year? Can we go 2? All right, we'll go 2 years on Getzlaf. He wants the 2 years, so we'll do the 2 years. Yeah, he wants the bridge, so we'll give him the bridge. Obey's been a great backup. I still don't know how long he's going to have to stick around. So 1 year, 1.5. And that's probably it. I'll probably leave the rest. Miami, 2 years like that. Yeah. And Hossa, we'll see. All right. So that's about it. We'll get to the start of the next season, then we can think about any other deals that we want to be making. All right. All those extensions are signed on. Awesome. Let's probably send to the Hall of Fame now, as we're going to try and see the big question now. Like the first half of the episode is done, or the first section of the episode is done. Now the second section is what growth happens over the offseason, and what does that mean for our lineup moving into year number 6. So let's sim to the Hall of Fame. Newly eligible players: Ray Bork, Ron Francis, John Tonelli, Dave Taylor, and Tom Barrasso. So start the Hall of Fame. Last year's class was Murphy, Messier, Coffey, and Gilbert. We want to nominate LaFontaine again. Ray Bork will get right away, no problem. Pat LaFontaine is going to get his nomination from us, the annual nomination. Confirm his nomination. Yes. What do you mean? It's not his first year of eligibility. So Ray Bourque, of course, we give him a vote. Ron Francis, you got to give him a vote. Then who else do we select on top of Pat LaFontaine? Ed Belfour. These are some crazy guys here. This is a tough class. Scott Stevens. This is the second year of eligibility now. I don't even know if I can vote for LaFontaine, who we nominated. Definitely Bourque and Francis get the votes. Phil Housley, Dave Anderchuk, Scott Stevens, Dave Taylor, Ed Belfour, Pat LaFontaine. Boy. Phil Housley. Last one goes to Anderchuk, Stevens, Taylor, Belfour, or LaFontaine. Eileen Stevens. Or is that just kind of like the bias in me of knowing him more? Dave Taylor is also a great idea. Cagney says Belfour. And Belfour very deserving as well. But he hurt us some of those years in Pittsburgh. I'm going to go Stevens just because that was my first gut reaction. But Anderchuk and Belfour are really good too. Let's see who gets it this year. Francis, Housley, and Bourque. All three unanimously get in. And that'll be it for the 2005 class, as the rest were not given enough. Yes, there you go. The DHOF emojis in the chat. Ron Francis, Phil Housley, and Ray Bourque, your 2005 NHL members of the Hockey Hall of Fame. Congratulations. The fourth highest point totals of any Hall of Fame are going to Ray Bourque there. 05 class done. Now let's sim to next season. I'm really excited to see that growth. No, thank you. Andrew Brunette would be interesting, though. All right, 2004-2005. The Ottawa Senators are Stanley Cup champions, enjoying HLM so far. Oh, not now. I will not do that yet. The game wanted me to put a rating. Abbotsford Canucks win the Calder Trophy. Peter Forsberg led the league in scoring, and all the other champions around the leagues that we are able to follow. 53-21-8 was our record. Someone on the team had a body look-alike. What's that? A body looks like a someone had a baby. Oh, okay, great news. All right, continue on. Now here we are at the beginning, 2005. So let's see what the mailbox says. Yes, Corbet had a baby. Look at that, Syed Corbet. Congratulations to René et sa famille. Félicitations, mon ami. All right, let's sim a day. When does it come in? Is it the 7th that it comes in? Here we go. Okay, this is the time we've been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Darren Helm up 10 just from the draft, already from 55 to 65. Victor Kaller up 7. Anton Strawman up 7. Vlasic up 6 already. Kudobin up 5. Chuck Kobasu with a big jump to 82. He could be in the NHL, yes. Milas Halak, there you go. Jarmelson, Nathan Gerby, James Wisniewski up 3. Tuukka Rask already up 3 from 65. Pekarine up 3. Klauser up 3. Kultaspakov, 90 overall. Igor Kultaspakov from Kazakhstan. How is he doing this? Vitalinish up to an 83. Jonasson +2. Stastny +2. Jokinen +2. Bonk -1. That's too bad. Oh my goodness, Igor Kultaspakov. That is incredible. 90 overall from him. One of the greatest growth stories. Let's go to development here for a second. Player development. Sorry, yes, so players. Okay, so different. So Neeser from low top 9 to low top 6. Jonasson, very low top 9 to very low top 6. Milas, low top 9 to low top 6. And Kultaspakov from high top 6 to now high elite. Oh my goodness. No longer a top 6. 90 overall. Igor Kultaspakov, now at 21 years of age, the Kazakhstanian forward, who we drafted 88th overall in 2002, coming off of his 58-point rookie season. I am floored by this man, Igor Koltaspakov. And of course, all the other growths in overall. Just that -1, sadly, from Erratic Bonk. But he's down to third-line center now anyways. And we got him locked up long-term. Great timing. All right, now these guys need to make sure they're getting their growth. So we'll get there in a second. Make sure they're in the right league to get the right growth going. So let's sim to starting the training here. October 13th. Sorry, I'm scouting, I meant to say. Where am I looking? Prospects. Jonathan Tays slated to go first overall in the 06 draft now. Anyone dropping potential? Oh, good idea. Did anyone drop in potential? Yes. Volchenkov, top 4 to top 6. What? Andrei Kostitsyn from top 6 to top 9? You're kidding me. One of our top prospects from medium top 6 to medium top 9 for no reason. Oh my goodness. Jones from low top 4 to low top 6D. And O'Sullivan low top 6 to low top 9. Ugh, what a joke. That's the price we have to pay, I guess. Ugh. Where are we looking? Prospects. No, where staff? Where am I trying to go? Lineup prospects. Or is it just not open yet? But today's the 7th. Go to scouting staff. Oh, Sullivan breaks because it wouldn't let me click on Kostitsyn for some reason. Okay, auto assign the scouts. We have room for one more scout. Oh, someone retired, I guess. Someone wants to be on a contender. Yeah, he won multiple awards in the KHL and had incredible stats. He drops to top 9 potential. That makes sense. Who wants to sign with us here? Who's young? Chris Chelios, who we had on the staff. Chris Chelios. He's not the best scout, but just for fun. Yeah, who we had, in the AHL with us in the Senators, on the Belleville Senators. Chris Chelios, welcome aboard. There you go. We start some into the preseason then. Yeah, scouting we did. Sutton, Farina, and Kelly, no. Preseason kickoff. All right, time to go to the lineup. Here we go with the preseason now. So, I'll let the game do what it wants actually for the preseason. Yeah, let's not start making big decisions just yet. So let's let the preseason be the preseason. Simming through. Waiver wire. Curtis Joseph on waivers. Then a lot of lower 70 overall guys who are not really as interested in. Alex Burrows with minor league potential. No, none of these guys who we're interested in. Cujo's fun, but no, we'll dismiss that. Burke, Taft, and waivers. Only Alex Burrows got claimed. Everyone else cleared. Garth Snow. Johan Franzen. Do I claim him and then try to sneak him through? I think I will. If we get him. Put in a claim on Johan Franzen. Specialty points, I don't think we used a lot last year, so I doubt, but maybe you could be right. Sorry. Specialty tree. Oh, you know what? Winning that cup must have done something because now we have a ton more. Great catch. But some of them cost more than we can afford. Like the one, well, a lot of them are 2,000. Increases. What did we have active for? Well, let's say Peter Sullivan. Peter Sullivan, we could do clutch or communicator upgrade. Good catch there, Cagney. Clutch. Oh no, they mean 3,500. So no, 2,000 would not be enough. Carson, Jimmy Carson. He has communicator. Could we upgrade that? We probably could. Jimmy Carson communicator. Or do we make Or do we activate Prime? Yeah, we probably activate Prime for Jimmy Carson instead, actually. Yeah, let's set Prime as the active. Yeah. Yes, he should be Prime. Yes, exactly. So Prime, there you go, for Jimmy Carson. Ulstrom, we have him on workload and intel, increasing in efficiency. Can we upgrade that? Probably, eh? So do we want to do probably intel, right? Increasing efficiency by 5%? Or more players being scouted? Workload. Which one do we like more here? Intel's good. Scout efficiency. Yeah, all right. Intel. There you go. Up to level 2. Who else? What else do we have available to us? Actually, no, because Carson didn't upgrade it, but we don't have enough for the upgrade. Oh, no. Oh, no. Don't tell me this is glitched. Hold on. Things aren't clicking. Oh, my goodness. Is there a throwback roster in NHL 24? I'm sure there is, but I'm not aware. Give it a minute. Yeah, we'll have an autosave, but hang on a second. It's happened a lot more for me, I find. Okay, so I gotta quit the screen. August 1st was the last autosave. No. Okay, sorry, yeah, it said August 1st. Hold on, I clicked the wrong one then. Hold on. Hold on. It said it's showing me the draft over here. Hold on a second. Quit without saving. Yes. August 1st. Hang on a second. August 1st. Load the autosave. Yes. That was a close one. That got me scared for a sec. And sim to next season. So hopefully we don't lose out on the growth that we were going to get. Do we trade Kostitsin now while we can? No. Please tell me we still get some great growth from these guys. Starts me into the preseason. Okay, looks like everything is pretty much the same. Yes, thank goodness. Go to scouting staff. Auto sign. Hire Chris Chelios. Oh my goodness, and save ASAP. Where are you, Chris Chelios? That was by age, right? Yeah, Chris Chelios. Auto sign. Back out. Save. Yeah, that could have been a lot worse. Sim to preseason. Let the roster do what it wants. And here we are. Now the game's changed, though. We're playing against a different team. Okay, now we go to the staff. Do those specialty upgrades. For the AGM, we said dealer. Dealer, manager. Yeah, and the training focus, yeah. Dealer for AGM. Yeah, okay. So dealer, specialty tree. Where are you? Dealer, upgrade, done. That leaves 1,000 XP still. Next, Peter Sullivan. He's already full. We can't upgrade him yet. Both are at level 2 already. Carson, we said switch him with Prime. And we don't have enough money to upgrade that, or XP, whatever, to upgrade it, so we have to wait there. Alstrom, we said Intel. Intel level 2. And Ridley, we could do... Starts the development of the physio? No. Reduces the probability of injury damage. May as well get that to level 2 as well. Why not? Rehab 2. All right. For this next season, we'll turn injuries up a little bit as well to make it more realistic now that we have the physios that are functioning. Where was the injury slider? Injuries. So injury frequency, we'll move that up. And save. Make that a bit more realistic for this season. Sorry. It's there, yes. Okay, so that's that for the staff. We upgraded what we can upgrade, while some still have some points ready to go. Yes. So Sullivan and Carson will be at next ones up in the future. Gotta get Neil if we can to grab a spot when Colt gets injured. Yes. Oh, Colt Taspakov. All right, let's advance. There's all the waiver guys. Yeah. We'll let the waivers be the waivers. Download a throwback roster. 1994. We did it on PS4. Cool. Alex Burrows will get claimed. Actually, Michael Ryder was on waivers. He got claimed. Dominic Hasek is tempting to claim, but I don't think we can at 40-80 overall. No. All right. And in the inbox, we saw Corbet. Yes. Next preseason game. Joel Ward, who we had previously. Do we try to get him back on this team, Joel Ward? Put in a claim, see what happens. Joel Ward. Did we get him? No, Buffalo got him. Who else is here? Steve Shields, Brian Boucher, John LeClaire. John LeClaire is tempting, trying to go chase a cup with him on like a fourth line role. Making $2 million, but we have the money. Francois Beauchemin. With the depth potential. Murray, top 6. Yannick, 7th D. I'm tempted to go after John LeClaire. You know what? If we have to put on waivers, we'll put him back on waivers, but I'm tempted for some John LeClaire. Keep on going. John LeClaire. Do we get him? I don't know. Scudra, Chouinard. Beauchemin got claimed. Never told me about John LeClaire, though. We have no idea. Great. Franzen on waivers. Yeah, we can try and put another claim for him in, like last time. Johan Franzen. What does the game tell us there? Daigle back on waivers. We bring him back. Martin Erat. Erat might not be a bad claim either. Franzen got claimed. Wait, claimed by Ottawa. Claimed from Pittsburgh. Yes. Who else can we try and claim here? Steve Montador. Rest in peace. Verbata with top line potentially. I'm going to put in all kinds of claims and just see what happens. Daigle, welcome back. Erat, get in here. And worst case, we send them down. Mato, no. Verbata. Montador. Even Mike Rupp. Exactly. Fills out the AHL. We won't clean everybody. Oh, and we'll check trade history for the AI trades after. Cool. And we got Mike Rupp. At least there's that. The rest got claimed. We got Mike Rupp. John Erskine. Bah. Roosevelt. Allen's not bad. 25.77 is not bad. Brian Allen, right? Yeah, Brian Allen. Why not? Last game of the preseason, I believe. We had Brian Allen. There you go. Montador back on waivers, was just claimed. Claim him again. Oops. Speaking of Degler, were you able? You know what? I just thought about that. I will 100% do it. I just haven't done it yet, Bronco. Welcome to another channel member here in the chat. So we end the preseason 4-2-0. Savard had 6 points in 3 games. That's cool. Kotask got 4-4. Anyone struggling down here? Kostitsin, nothing in 3. A lot of guys got ice time at least. Bonk, no points in 4 games. Any big surprises up here? Franzen, 2 points in 3 games. Kostopoulos, 2 points in 3 games. Peverly, 3 points in 3 games. A lot of different goalies. Got to look. Okay. Now, looking at the lineup. Roster moves. Extra players. So Oduya, Jones, Allen, Mayer, Jokinen, Kostitsin, Rupp, Franzen, Stepniak. All these guys are going to go down. Including Kostopoulos or not? Maybe not Kostopoulos yet. Niemi Rene, yes. Okay, so Kelly's going to the AHL, stays green. Chirnik, AHL. Jokinen, Peverly. Stepniak to the AHL would hurt his development, really. So then where can I send him? He's too old for anywhere else. So I can't send Stepniak anywhere. The KHL or the AHL hurts 60 overall Lee Stepniak. Then what am I supposed to do with you, Lee Stepniak? And then everyone else is happy except for Pecorine. Same thing, Pecorino. What can I do for you? I can't send you anywhere else. So too bad. Yeah, that's it. The NCAA option is not that it's off, it's that he's under contract, it said. That he's players under contract aren't eligible, it said. That's why. So we have to still cut Kostopoulos or now Chuck Kobus. Yes, Chuck Kobusu's up here. Vitalinish. Hold on a second. So Phillips will go here. Rashnik here. Caberlet here. Erickson there. The Volchenkov dropped in potential. He's the 7th D now, then, I guess. So then the lineup looks like this. Yes. So Moss, Shantz, and Kobusu, all two-way forwards. Corbet helps out that chemistry. Oh, you can do that by change. Oh, I know there's a setting for that. Which setting would I find that under? Development? No. NCAA? Here we go. Allow players under contract to play in this league. Boom. So now if we go to roster moves, I'll say, what's his name? Pecorine and who was it? Lee Stempniak. Both of you go to the NCAA where it's orange, but at least that's better. Or even the KHL. But that's fine. NCAA is okay. I'm not going to send you overseas. Okay, good. Bye-bye. That's that. And let me advance another day here. Steve Montador. We got Steve Montador. Now we'll try and sneak him through waivers. What do we do with Kostopoulos, though? I wonder. Do we send down Calder or Corbet, or do we send down Kostopoulos? If the game will let me click on him. Yeah, ice time to NCAA. All right, let's just move him. Sorry, Kostopoulos. Montador. Kostopoulos gonna get claimed on waivers for sure. Whereas I wonder if Corbet would be claimed, you know? Waiver eligible. He's too good, though. All right. Roster moves. Kostopoulos, Montador, whatever. And that's the team. Let's advance forward. October 13th. Yeah, too many two-way forwards. Kostopoulos off to Tampa Bay. Bye-bye. But Steve Montador does clear. At least we got that. At least. Bye-bye, Tom Kostopoulos. We tried training you a little bit. We tried keeping you for a little while. And now the 13th is where we can start the training. All right, season opener. Welcome to Thrill of the Season. Rookies, blah, blah, blah. Who are the rookies here in Ottawa? Bobby Ryan, Jay Peterman, Me6 Bot, Peter had a lot in Toronto. Chuck Kobasu, and Nikita Vitalinish. So here in training now, what can we do for training? Giannisson, Paradis, Krejci, you guys are all finishing up some stuff. Terry. What can we do with you, Terry? Vitalinish, who has some good growth. Hossa now exact elite potential, by the way. He's been working on shot blocking. I'll bring it to next season. A whole season on Vitalina's shot blocking. But he could be a good piece for us, I wonder. Even Jonathan Eriksson. We'll get some training with him done. All right, Vitalinash, we'll do you then. Now down in the AHL. Kostitsyn now with his top 9 potential. What a joke. Let's go to shooting. Who else? Niemu can't do. Jokinen, top 9 potential. Let's do some shooting for you. We got to make these guys. Actually, let's get hitting. Peverly, finish off hitting. And Jeff Chikrin. None of these guys are great. Johnny Oduya's never really grown. But somebody's got to do something. So, shot blocking for you. Now, players. Who has some red? Volchenkov with the red is a healthy scratch. It makes sense, yeah. Louis Eriksson with the red. But what are you saying? Where else am I going to send you? Can we sign Louis Eriksson and play him in the AHL? If you go to contract. Yeah, Louis Eriksson's a 75 overall. Do we need to sign him to get him out of the OHL? I mean, he's 20. He should be able to play in the AHL now. Yeah, I'm going to say let's sign Louis Eriksson then. Let's help out his development. Even James Wisniewski. Who else was having some red lines there in the where am I looking? Player development. Milas. Who else? Milas. Rene, but we sent you to the KH, wherever, the NCAA, Rene. Why are you still red? It said you were going to be orange. Maybe it's not. You're not playing yet. Definitely Louis Eriksson, though. I'm sure there's space in the AHL roster. Hold on. Where are we going? Lineup. No. AHL. Best lines. Yeah, there's room. Jones, if you'll ever grow, we'll put you there. Same for Oduya. Yeah, he's going to get starting there. Is this Aiden Hill? Well, let me click on him, though. 54 might be backup. Yeah. There's 67, this guy Hill. I don't know if that's Aiden Hill. No, it can't be. In 2005, what am I saying? Jokinen's definitely going to be in. Who's this guy? Donaldson. Get out of there. Jokinen, I don't know who Wilkinson is, so I'll put you there. And there you go. Kostitsyn at center. That's fine. Let me lock you all in. Before anything silly happens. Special teams. Kostitsyn the sniper. Yeah, we can keep you there. That's fine. Yeah, lock him in. Why not? Just lock everybody. Well, locked for now until Eriksson signs. Then I'll have to get him in. And then in the AHL, of course. Sorry, in the NHL, am I saying? In the NHL, I'm starting to learn. Whoa. Sorry. Lock him up. Kotaspakov, Yashin, Savard, Alfredsson, Getzlaf, Camilleri, Isbister, Bonk, Hossa, Kobasu, Shantz, Moss. Do we want to swap Savard and Alfredsson? That's a possibility. Lock everybody, then I'll make my changes. Why does it not put centers here, though? So let's put red in here. Kotaspakov here. Bonk here. No. Bonk will go at the point. Getzlaf will center here. Alfie first line after the Conn Smythe? Sure. Alfie first. Camilleri here. Savard, Yashin, Hossa, Getzlaf. Okay, that works. What are the ratings here? He has 90 defense? I did not realize that. Who has the best defense of the centermen? Yashin only 84. Bonk 83. Yeesh. So Savard at 86, we'll put him there. Camilleri, I'm going to take him off. And Shantz at 85 defense, we'll put him there. Savard, Kotaspakov, Shantz, Alfredsson. Selke incoming. I'd love to see the legacy of Kotaspakov grow even more. All right, so that'll be our roster to start. Eriksson's going to sign. We'll put him in the AHL. We'll start the season like this, still with $7.338 million in cap space. So still some moves that we could make if we wanted to. Definitely still some moves that would be possible. Can we check the contract page real quick? I think we're fine with cap for next season, but I want to see details for future reference. Absolutely. Contracts. Here we are. Here's how things look right now. So Hossa's new that contract moving into next year. Lalim and Bonk a couple more seasons. The core is signed on for 4 more years at least, including this one, with Alfredsson and Yashin. The next guy's up, but still a long way to go. Then down here, Getzlaf 2 more years after this one. There you go. Even Milas is a question mark. Maybe we should sign him as a 73. Wisniewski even as a 72, but his development seems to be okay. So let's start off the season on the road in Edmonton to close off the episode, ladies and gentlemen, facing off against the Oilers as reigning Stanley Cup champions to begin the 2005-2006 season. Here we go as reigning, defending Stanley Cup champions. Let's see how Alfie and his team do to begin our Stanley Cup defense in year number 6, which will continue next episode. Year number 6, the 05-06 season. Sean Horkoff opens it up, and then Ryan Smith makes it 2 soon after. Patrick Lalim, man, things didn't work this offseason for a trade, but don't tempt me. 2 goals early in the first. See you, Max. Happy birthday, buddy. Thanks for being here. Mark Savard scores our first goal of the season, assisted by Getzlaf and Redden, getting us back in this one. 1-goal game. Power play Sens killed off. The Slow Sim hates power play goals, but Marian Hossa trying to stave off the trade, assisted by Bonk, ties this game at 2. Power play Sens again killed off for 0 for 4 as Michael Nylander makes it 3-2 for the Oilers. And there's his second on the power play. And Yanni Niinema, the floodgates open as Mike Greer scores a 4th in the 3rd period on Patrick Lalim. Moss scores from Kobasu and Shantz, Chuck Kobasu's first career NHL point. And we lose this one by a score of 6-3 as Lalim allows 6 goals on 31 shots. Yeah. I know it's just 1 game, but I'm kind of ready to seriously explore the Lalim trade. Eriksson accepts that deal. We're going to put him in the AHL. And that's it. So let's just quickly look at the goalie market before we call it an episode. So Eriksson, the AHL. AHL. So best lines. Well, it doesn't really work, actually. So actually, let me take the locks off, sadly. Just for the forwards. Lock off. Best lines. So Kostitsyn here, Kelly there. Eriksson first line, I'm going to put him. Left wing, right wing. Franzen, Rupp, no. Franzen, Peverly, Chiernik. Hamilton, Rupp, Jokinen. Wilkinson, Pelletier, Friedman. There you go. Lock. I'm going to lock everybody. Makes me feel better. Warm and fuzzy. And for the special units, unlock these. Best lines for the special teams. And then lock again. Because Eriksson's going to get in there. There we go. All right, Louis Eriksson, welcome aboard. And that's that, correct? Waiver wire, blah, blah, blah. We advance here, and we call it an episode. All right, so next episode, we'll start with the 0-1 record, sadly. And we'll continue to think about potential Patrick Lalime moves here as we go to trade. Just want to look at some last things to end off the episode. If we were to look at find trade, I'm curious. Look at that value on Tuukka Rask. Oh, my goodness. On Patrick Lalime, find trade on Patrick Lalime. Duncan Keith, this guy Pham, and a third-round pick. Boyle, Schultz, and a third. McMillan, who's an 82, a second and a third. Fleischman, third. Backes and a third. Hansel and a third. Pavlik, Lapierre and a third. Makarov, Mitchell, Strome, Zajac, Brooks-Like, Niskanen, DiPietro and a third. A first straight up from the Rangers. A first from the Lightning. A first from the Canucks. A first from the Panthers. What's up with the Panthers? Where are they in? Yeah, we'll look at the AI trades too. Cup Part 2 next episode. I hope so. What happened to the Panthers and their goalie situation? They kept Luongo. They traded Hurley, it looks like. Oh, boy. So let's look at the trade history here around the league over the offseason. Off-season trades. So we made that trade, of course, at the draft with the Predators. Big trade here from Columbus for a 7th-round pick. What? Okay, some negative value must have been going on there. Manny Fernandez for Brian Campbell and a 5th. Thomas Vokoun to Colorado for Harvey, a 2nd and a 3rd. Wow. Jay Hurley to St. Louis for Pierre Turgeon, Matt Zuccarello, Drew Stafford, and a 1st-round pick. What a blockbuster there, as the Panthers get a huge haul for Jay Hurley, as the Panthers might be our biggest competition for the Stanley Cup next episode. Wow. Brian Boucher to Detroit. Robert Ashe to Detroit as well. Okay. And there you go. Sheesh. So trades around the league. Any goalies were on the blocks. Sorting by overall. Mike Dunham, Jamie McLennan, or goalies that just make sense. Checkmatic with a negative value. Marty Biron, I wonder. 86. Ryan Miller, Carey Price here in Buffalo. Craig Anderson, not the greatest numbers, but could be an idea with a high starter potential at 85. Jocelyn Thibault. Clemenson, Turco, Graham, no. Salo, no. Now they're good in Florida. Tim Thomas is there. Look at that, Tim Thomas. Kari Lettinen, who was really, they didn't want to trade him last episode, but I wonder now that he's under contract. I don't know if that changes anything. I mean, Lalime for Lettinen might actually work now. I'd almost do it right now, but we can wait till next episode. This might work. I don't know, now that he's under contract, things changed or something. But now Lalime for Lettinen is a lot closer. If I added, let's say, a 2nd-round pick, then yes, they would do this. A 2nd, and we take back a 4th. Like, this would work. We lucked out not getting him. Yeah, I think Lettinen went down in potential. Oh, that's why. Oh, that's why. Good catch, Gen Z. From medium elite to medium starter, Kari Lettinen. That's why. Are we no longer interested then in Kari Lettinen? I wonder. Well, let me click on him, though. Okay, good catch. Good catch. José Theodore down from 88 to 87. Backstrom still at an 88. I wonder, Backstrom. Sorry, let's start back by overall. Cam Ward. Cam Ward could be interesting. 81 medium elite, but a lot of reliance on a rookie. Marc-Andre Fleury, 84 at 20. Still worth getting, says Pat. Welcome to the stream, my friend. Nikolai Habibulin, still that so-so contract, but he's on the block. Patrick Waugh, with the negative value at 85 overall. I wonder if it would be interesting to say, listen, Patrick Waugh is going down in age overall and everything. He doesn't want to come here anyways, though. Still worth getting now at a discount. Imagine we got him and then he ended up dropping. Buy low on Lettinen and you can bounce back up to elite. He's already 85. That would be a crazy return on investment stonks play. Nabokov, lateral move we had said. Jay Hurley, now the guy in St. Louis. Osgood, Kiprasov, Fernandez, Kolzig, Giguere. If they're close to fully developed, does potential still matter? I guess not as much. Lettinen's not that close, right? Lettinen's how old again? Only 21. True, if we turn back up, but that gets tricky. I find trending back up to be less likely than locking in. I've seen players drop them. Yeah, it's true. So maybe we could make some sort of larger deal out of this. I don't know. But it's possible. We have these 2 seconds. Just a fourth gets it done. Lalime for Lettinen, get 10 years younger. Starter potential for starter potential. We get 10 years younger. I just want to see Kari Lettinen's stats, though. Thank you. Kari Lettinen had a great start to the year, 30 saves on 31 shots. Last year, not so hot. None of his NHL numbers have been fantastic, but we're not just getting him for that. We're getting him for the potential growth. 10 years younger, 1 overall less, same potential. It's interesting. Keep it in mind as we move into next episode. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that does it then. 10 years younger is a great point. Yes, that's it. With not would it be a downgrade today? Maybe, but I lean yes. It might be a very slight downgrade. But to get 10 years younger and at worst match potential for potential, hard to say no. All right, so we'll end it off there, ladies and gentlemen. A bit of a longer stream than I thought it would be in the end with all the ideas of trades and whatnot. So Havlat, Salo, Murray, all out. A bit of a, not cleaning house, but, we won the Stanley Cup. We did right by a lot of these guys. Now we have youngsters coming up the ranks. Camilleri, Kotaspakov. We have to make space for these guys, and that's what we did a little bit this offseason. So I'm moving into year number 6, right? The 05-06 season. We'll get ready next week to roll into that year as defending Stanley Cup champions, trying to go back-to-back. Until then, this was a Wednesday night stream, so we'll be back tomorrow night. Tomorrow on Thursday, we'll be back with the MLB The Show 25 Blue Jays series. So tune in then. And yes, that's Islanders this weekend. I think that's about it. The schedule's on the Discord server, so reference that. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that like and make sure to hit the bell to be notified of when we go live and when these episodes of the series come your way. Appreciate you all being here. Thanks to the channel members and much love to everyone who spent the last couple hours helping to craft this team, as it was not the busiest offseason, but it was a lot of different permutations and ideas and XYZ going on. So looking forward to reading your thoughts in the comments and in the Discord server on the offseason that was. All right, thanks everybody. Much love, and we'll talk to you tomorrow night for the MLB The Show 25 Blue Jays series.